Hey guys, and welcome to episode 37 of my From the Island series. In the previous episode, we kept on moving with some flips and changed up the items a lot again. So we only ended up with the gilded square shield as our only remaining gilded pieces, but we did manage to pick up two items which were working really well in both the ranger's gloves and the ranger's tights. So we will keep spinning them around for the rest of this episode, along with just changing up the rest of the items to see what works best and just make us the most amount of profit to finish this episode off and get us close to that 50mm target. So the ranger's tights, we managed to buy two of them, and it was taking a while to fill the rest of the G slots. So I'm just going to do a quick check here to see where we need to be in terms of price, just so we know where we need to buy. Now, what I've mentioned in previous episodes, if ranger's tights, the gloves are very consistent in the price that they buy and sell for, and will always sort of make a certain margin. Whereas ranger's tights really do seem to be the one out of the two where you can really push that margin and extend it. So as you can see here, the margin wasn't really that good. So we'll probably just sit on those for the time being, or look to see if there's anything else which we can buy just instead. And as you can see, we're going to go and try the team capes again, just to see what's working because stuff isn't selling. And that's why we always recheck the margins just to make sure stuff works. But I'll come back and let you know what we're doing. So we're going to go for a bit of a glory throw here now. So we're going big on Robe Darkness pieces because they have a big margin on the robe bottom and the boots. So they could buy up to 70 per GE slot, which means they're quite a high bulk buy, but the prices they're at the minute are very, very low. Now, we flipped the robe bottom of darkness before in this series, and it was always sort of around 100k. Now, at the minute, the buy price is actually in the 40k's, so there's a massive scope there for a margin. And we've also been able to buy 70 as well. As well as that, the gloves and the boots have also got very big margins as well. And I'm just going to try the rest of the items, see if there's anything better. Now, the one concern I've got with the boots is that I don't think they'll sell as well as the bottoms, but they have a better margin than the actual bottoms themselves. So I think that the items we're going to go for are the boots of darkness, robe bottom of darkness, and also the hood of darkness. And hopefully between those sort of big bulk buys, we can actually pick up some money. We're going to keep the ranger's tights and one of the team capes in the info for the time being. Hopefully we can get rid of the d'hide boots and the katanas, and that will free up some G slots as well, just for us to keep going. But yeah, I'm quite interested to see how the darkness pieces will go. We have done them before in this series, and they're so sporadic in like their selling. We can either absolutely hit the jackpot, or they will absolutely fall and will go backwards. So we'll see what works. I think I'll be keeping a lot more of a focus and an eye on what we're doing in terms of margins with the darkness robes, just so if they do continue to fall or go down, we can try and get rid quick, just so we minimize our loss. But for robe of darkness pieces and for something which comes from Elite and Master Clues, they are very, very low at the minute. So we'll see how they go on. We'll keep you updated. These are my slots for the time being, and if anything changes, I will let you guys know. So it's been a couple of days since we last logged in, and as you can see, we've had some changes in our G slots. So we've bought and sold some Zombie d'hide boots. They actually went quite quick. We managed to get rid of all the katanas and all the Armadale boots, so they're now gone. I did retry the Armadale boots to see if they had a decent margin. They didn't, so we moved into Zombie boots because they seem to be working. Now we actually got the full GE slot buys for the Robe of Darkness bottoms, as long as with the Robe of Darkness boots. And we're actually pulling a very decent margin on both of them, and they are actually selling. Now the bottoms are selling a lot quicker than the boots, but that was to be expected. As you can see as well, we've actually done quite a bit of flipping since the last time we recorded, and we've moved on quite a bit since then as well. But we're continuing to try various items as well, and we were having some success sort of rotating between all the team capes depending on what had the best margin at the time. But the slightly cheaper ones, the X and the I cape, do seem to be working a lot better, and I can also buy twice of them compared to the 4mm cape as well. But the Rangers tights and gloves are still probably the best two items we are flipping at the minute. For the first time in this series as well, we've actually picked up the Fromy kilt. It had a decent margin, and we actually bought 5 of them. But at the minute, they're not selling, so we're waiting to see if they sell as well. But as you can see, all the offers have filled in our GE slots, and we're nearly at 46mm. With a spare gilded shield in the Invo as well. So we're probably rocking about just under 47, which means we're so nearly there. We're going to go and buy some Armadale boots, buy 3 Team Cape X's, and I'll come back to you with any updates. Right, just looking back in, we've had some buys. The Team Capes have bought. we've managed to sell the Thromy kilts. Now, I don't think we got the greatest profit in the world from the Thromy kilts, so we might not go back in for them. Now, I was expecting them to sell a lot quicker than what they did as well. They are very well known to be used in high risk, high end PKing, but there was no real margin on them. There was enough to sort of put an offer in, but they didn't sell anywhere near quick enough for us to actually make decent profit compared to any other items. Now, the Armour D-Hard boots compared to when we bought them a couple of days ago have absolutely crashed. But this is what happens sometimes with flipping, is you put the offer in and they just absolutely fly out. Although I did put them in for the wrong buy price. So here's me thinking I've made a lot of money. I've actually put them in for 65k. But luckily for me, I think we only lost a little bit from that. So what we're going to do again is just use that money and put it into something else, I think, and not talk about Armadale boots again, because we lost a little bit. The Rangers pieces are actually selling pretty well still, but they do have a little bit of time where either they'll go quite low volume and struggle to buy, or the margins will change quite drastically just because they will be low volume, just because they're a clue item and not coming in the game quick enough, and that's when I'll just take it out, recheck the margin, and then just put in another price. The gloves always seem to be roughly like the same sort of difference. I'll never sort of really make more than 20-25k, whereas the tights at the minute I can push anywhere up to 80-90k per tight. They seem to be bought a lot more than the gloves anyway. But yeah, so that's not going too bad. The darkness pieces are slowly selling, and the gilded square shields are working pretty well. So I'm just going to find something for the last 2 slots and come back and we'll end the episode. So this is like the biggest case of deja vu ever. All the time we try to make the rainbow work. All the time the rainbow ends up kicking us and sat in our invo for a couple of days. But you know what? We've done it with the darkness robe sets. We're going to do it with the rainbow. We're going big. We'll put a big offer in. It's got about 60k margin. So if we could pull off anywhere near sort of this quantity of rainbows and they actually sell for what they are, then we'll make some big money. Now, the one bonus of having the darkness robes in the G slots is that it's tied up a G slot for a little bit amount of money. So I've got so much more money to chuck it bigger flips in the other 6 slots, which is really helping us to really push that profit up. But that's the end of this episode. We've made a massive amount of gains sort of from the beginning of this episode. We've found some items which are working really, really well. Hopefully by the next episode, those darkness pieces have all sold and we would have made a decent profit on them. But yeah, that's it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you have, please leave a like, and any comments, please leave them down below and I'll always try my best to reply to them. If you're enjoying the content on this channel, please subscribe, as we've got plenty more heading your way as well. But yes guys, I'll see you guys in the next episode and hope you've enjoyed.